Welcome to the REALL Academy, brought to you each Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time by the
Systems DoctHers,
Dr. Sheka Houston and Dr. Tammy Taylor, best-selling authors, consultants, and speakers of Create and Educate LLC. Create and Educate LLC is an educational consultant and literary firm that provides professional development to schools and community. Their goal is to transform organizations with the REALL Resilience Framework used to increase their school report card grades 2 and 3 grade levels in 1 year. REALL stands for Respect, Excellence, Accountability, Literacy, and Leadership. This framework is used to coach leaders and teachers and build student efficacy while putting systems in place that aligns the work of the school improvement, making the process manageable. When the work is manageable, teachers and leaders don't stress out or burn out.
the Systems DoctHers
Alignment systems are designed to help schools evolve and grow, all while instituting protocols and processes designed to promote collaboration and collegiality. The implementation of the alignment framework prevents some of the most common problems in education, where leaders sometimes aren't sure where to start, or in our new age of educating, leaders need a trusted sounding board that allows them to be vulnerable and transparent, preventing loneliness at the top. The framework doesn't just help leaders, but also prevents teachers from burning out from too many initiatives and embracing teachers as they are the experts. Finally, the framework extends to the children, helping them get engaged in school and solving a nationwide problem. Alignment systems are frequently referred to as a key element of success in the improvement process. In the sport of rowing, all rowers must put their oars in the water, succinctly creating a system for their boat to reach maximum speed. So schools that want to improve are bringing in
the Systems DoctHers
to teach them all about the alignment systems that must be in place for school improvement to be accomplished at high levels. The dynamic duo provides insights into educational topics through their international platform, which includes educators, parents, and community members as a way to support important entities that make communities thrive. This is their way to pay it forward and provide the support they needed through their platform. Take a look. People who work with the
Systems DoctHers
describe them as an excellent and inspiring group of leaders. They get into the weeds of work with leaders through their TrustMate Institute that you should contact them about today by filling out the contact form on their website.
Happy Saturday, everyone. It is Super Saturday. Welcome to episode 173 of the REALL Academy, brought to you by Create and Educate with your very own Systems DoctHers, HERS. I am Dr. Sheka Houston.
Good morning, everyone, and I am Dr. Tammy Taylor, and we are ecstatic to have y'all with us this morning.
Most definitely. Good morning, Tammy.
Hey, Sheka, good morning.
So as you know, the Systems DoctHers bring you each week information surrounding our REALL Resilience Framework that you see over our shoulders. We use this to increase our report card grades 2 and 3 levels in 1 year. But if this is your first time tuning in, you may not be aware that my school was a STEAM School of Excellence, a Palmetto Silver School for Academic Growth, and Tammy School is an NWEA case study school as well as an Admentum showcase school. We've served in classrooms, at the leadership level, in the building as well as the district level, and we also serve on multiple boards in our communities. A great deal of our success has come about due to the way that we use empowerment.
Yes, and if you're wondering how we empower, It is actually through our Leadership Trustmate Institute, where we use self selected coaching to teach our three transformation systems to principals who are in need of a change in their buildings. Our systems of respect, our systems of excellence, and our systems of accountability can help any leader to transform their school.
Most definitely. And we also empower through our Build My Sister collaborative, where we help Black women learn to build genuine sisterhoods through our framework and not just figuring out life as it happens. So we use our formulas to ensure success in life, and we also use that with the Real Me for Girls in our K-12 empowerment program. This we use content to help young ladies discover who they really are, their true identities. So our empowerment even extends into the Real Academy each week, and we hope that you all are empowered when you're leaving the Real Academy. But we have also been empowering through our invited guests that we have on with us each morning, who collaborate with us and whose philosophies still align with our real framework. So if there's anything that you have heard or hearing, through the Real Academy, any of the services that we offer that you would like at your school or your organization, please use our website to get in contact with us. Just fill out the contact form and we will be in touch with you. So if you all don't mind, help us out. Do all of the things that all of the platforms do. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you're helping us get this word out to everyone.
Definitely. And as Sheka said, this is very important work to us because we use this work to pay it forward each week as a part of our live stream network, the Fantastic Four, which started at 10 o'clock with Principal Sean Hurt, who is always, always, always an inspiration to all and absolutely on fire. Principal Hurt said, you can't treat people any kind of way. So we hear you, Brother Hurt, and know that you are spot on. You have to have a respect for people so that people can have respect for you. We are very excited too that following Principal Hurt, we get to come on at 10:30, Create and Educate, and then at 10:55, our mentor and the GOAT, Godfather of Education, Principal Kafele, is on, and we know that he's always going to bring the gold. And then we close that Fantastic Four out on Sunday evenings with the PGP podcast with Dr. Moreno and Principal Josh Tovar.
Most definitely. So now we are going to shout out our real fam because we know that you all could be anywhere on Saturdays, but you are intentional about being here with us. So we are thankful for you. Miss Tashika Truesdale out of Atlanta, Georgia, thank you for joining us. Ben, thank you for joining us. I'm not going to butcher any other part of your name. Miss September Devance Vance Daniels, thank you for joining us. And shout out to Sinitra Williams. She was approved for her proposal. So you go, girl, Dr. Loading. We can't wait to hear it. AP Patrick Lawrence out of Connecticut, thank you for joining us. Rella Hicks, good morning, sister. We appreciate you. Shout out again, Principal Sean Hurt. You are always on fire, and I did keep warm. As you can see, I still got on my coat and my scarf, and I was bundled up this morning in the 20-degree weather out at Girls on the Run at 5:30 a.m. Stacy L. Joy, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you always. David Bell from Benton Harbor, Michigan, thank you for joining us. Dr. Joe Griffin, thank you for joining us. We got our West Coast people up early with us this morning. Principal Josh Tovar, part of the Fantastic Four, and that's right, Josh, go Gamecocks. Melissa Jones Chunu, thank you for joining us. Constance Sherrod, we appreciate you. My sister, Miss Soul Child Nika Grafton, good morning, sis. Miss Dot McKeever Jeter, happy birthday. Miss Dot is a birthday twin with my daughter Elizabeth Houston, who also celebrated her birthday on December the 5th. So we appreciate each and every one of you. I'm pretty sure I got everybody, and we are appreciative to Pedrick for getting all of these comments up for us. So that brings us to episode 173 of the Real Academy, and we are excited to bring you two phenomenal guests, Dr. Sharon Porter and Xavier Reed, Principal Fellows of the National Association of Elementary School Principals. We would like to welcome them to the Real Academy. Let me bring them up. And Dr. Sharon is our shero who got us started as
Yes, ma'am.
authors. So we are so appreciative of her. Welcome. Let me unmute. Can you unmute
If
yourself,
you're
Dr. Sharon?
muted, Dr. Sharon.
Think I'm
Good morning. Good morning.
Good
There you go,
morning.
girl.
How are
morning.
you?
Great.
Doing
Thank
well,
you.
doing well on this Saturday.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I don't know if it's as cold where you all are as it is where we are, but in South Carolina, we are not used to 20-degree weather. So I'm sitting up in here with my coat and my scarf on because I'm still trying to warm up. But tell the people, the real fam, introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are. We'll start with Dr. Sharon.
Okay, thank you, my sisters. Thank you so much for having us. I am Dr. Sharon H. Porter, educator, author, host. I'm just really excited in this capacity today. I'm serving as the fellow for the NAESP Diversity for Leadership, and just really excited. This is actually my first year. It's a 2-year tour. And so I'm doing my first year. So I'm really excited and glad to have my brother along, Mr. Xavier Reed.
Most
Hello.
definitely.
All right, and I'm Xavier Reed. I hail from Minneapolis, Minnesota. So that is where I pretty much call home for sure. So you talk about 20-degree weather. That's warm for us right now.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
warm for us right now. So we're actually enjoying a beautiful 35-degree day, and we were looking forward to this. So.
Wow.
But yes, I'm a middle school principal here at Wayzata Central Middle School, and our student body is about between 14 to 1,500 students on any given year. So I serve grades 6 through 8.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's
All
phenomenal. We're excited to have you guys on this morning and so excited to hear about the work that you're doing. And I tell you what, Xavier, when we start talking about 20 degrees, we are researching on Amazon how to buy fur-lined gloves. We are, like, I'm talking about, I'm shivering down here.
Yeah.
We're not used to that kind of cold.
I live here and I'm not used to
I
it.
promise you, we're
Oh,
gonna
wow.
be but if you guys don't mind, just share with us. We've learned what NAESP is, but if you would share for those who are on with us this morning that don't know, talk to them about what NAESP actually is.
Okay, well, I'll start. As you mentioned at the top of the show, it is the National Association of Elementary School Principals, and it actually serves elementary and middle school principals. And we are the cousin to NAESP, which serves secondary schools. And we have multiple state chapters in the NAESP. I'm a part of the Maryland Association of Elementary School Principals as well. And so we do a lot of work for all principals throughout the nation. And I'll let my brother Xavier extend upon that if you feel free to.
Absolutely. I've been a part of NAESP for a while now, and being able to get more involved with it, being able to go down to the conferences the last 3 or 4 years has been really valuable. I think for me as a middle school educator, mostly I've done 1 year of high school, but mostly middle school, I see the value in being able to learn from our elementary and our pre-K colleagues, because there's a lot of strategies, a lot of approaches that, technically I'm secondary, working in the middle school, but there's very much a great need to to kind of steal some ideas and some things from our elementary partners that are really effective for our students. So being able to learn from elementary leaders and mesh that has been really cool. And this is my second year in the NAESP fellowship. And so being able to learn more about NAESP as an organization and their leadership structure and being able to just engage with leaders from across the country has been very valuable for me.
And I
Awesome.
will add, if I
Oh, go
can,
ahead.
yes,
Mhm.
my first introduction to NESP actually was through the mentoring. I became a certified NESP principal mentor, which is
Mhm.
where I started my principal coaching, and eventually struck out on my own doing the coaching. But that was my first introduction many years ago
Okay.
into that, and since then I just have just stayed very active in the organization.
I think it's phenomenal,
Awesome.
Dr. Sharon. And I was just going to kudos Xavier, because I love hearing that you see the value in extending what happens starting in pre-K through that middle school experience, because sometimes I think what happens is we pull away so fast that the kids don't have time to fully develop and get ready for what comes next. And they just are floundering out there and can't find their way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that there's a lot of that. And even beyond just middle school, there's things that high school can learn from elementary as well.
Mhm.
But it's sometimes the challenge is that, and that's a bigger conversation, is that as our kids get older in school, as our babies get older in school, we forget that they're still kids, they're still developing, they're not developed, even if they may look physically like they're developed and like they are
This
young
is not
adults.
developed.
This isn't there yet.
Right.
And
Exactly.
so whether it's a strategy of engaging a family or to support students in a better way, I mean there's many things that as secondary educators we can learn.
Most definitely. And I'm glad you started off with that, Dr. Sharon, saying that middle school is the cousin, because, and also include it, because a lot of times secondary people check out when they see elementary. Oh, no, that's elementary. That's not for us. And that's what we need, because that's why a lot of the times the children start to disengage in school, because we think that middle school means something different than elementary, when a lot of times that's where you're going to get a lot of your best strategies. So tell us about being a principal fellow, what that entails, how you became one.
Yeah, so being a principal fellow, this is, like I said, this is my second year in the fellowship. It was an opportunity that I applied for and went through a interview process, probably the same way Dr. Porter did as well this past summer. And I was seeking more leadership, seeking more opportunities to grow as a leader. Saw the value, like I said, going to the conferences and being able to engage with other leaders, and so. The diversity, the Center for Diversity Leadership is one of, I believe, 3 or 4 centers that they offer at NAESP. And so, as a fellow, you are a representative of that center. And what you do is really on a monthly basis, if possible, a couple times a month, you try to send out resources and information to NAESP members from around the country. And that could be in the form of a podcast. It could be in the form of articles, interviews, writing up, an article yourself. There's a lot of different ways that we try to engage. And, it's been very, very much very valuable to be able to provide our perspectives, because, me and Dr. Porter are on two different parts of the country. And
Mhm.
so our experiences, there's a lot of similarities, but there's a lot of differences too. And so I think
Absolutely.
that as we have conversations, we can start to see that a little bit.
Exactly. And the diversity in the Center for Diversity Leadership, we really promote those best practices. And as he said, share those resources that's related to like equity, inclusion, cultural responsiveness, all those things that can really transform teaching and learning.
That is awesome. And with there being so much done to repeal DEI initiatives, I'm glad that to hear that this organization, has not done that and is continuing this great work. So, you said that you definitely send out information. So we hope that the Real Academy is one of the podcasts that you will share out with some folks, because we definitely try to support leaders, and it sounds like this is what this is all about.
For
Support
sure.
for leaders. And one of the things that we teach is that everybody needs a coach. Sometimes in education, we make coaching negative when we only assign a coach to those people who, may need to improve. But really, everybody needs a coach in order to see those blind spots, or, see where you can improve upon some things. And we all need to collaborate because we can all learn from one another, which is why we're here every Saturday. So,
Definitely.
what exactly, there's, I think, an event coming up that you all wanted to share, or that you want people to know about?
Absolutely. I'll leave that to you, Xavier.
Yes, so we are going to be having a meetup for our center, and actually it's on the topic that you just referred to. So DEI has been something that we've kind of been talking about for about the last month in a couple podcast episodes that we have that will either be coming out or already are on their way out. And so we're going to have a meetup discussion to talk about DEI and how it relates to the current state of education, and being able to talk through like how do we navigate that as principals. In our last episode, talking about it, and I alluded to it a little bit, is what that means here in Minnesota may not mean the same thing in South Carolina right now. It may not mean the same thing in Arizona, so on and so forth. And the way that it's either appearing or disappearing might be different. And so as leaders, that's not, that work was probably not a part of our principal prep program. And so as we have leaders at all different stages of their career, we want to make sure that we are helping to support leaders in this work, and in this with this topic being really significant right now.
And absolutely. And in our last podcast, we had guest Trudy LeBron, who really gave us a wonderful perspective on there. And so we're going to really reflect on some of those topics that were brought up at the meetup, and just do a deeper dive into DEI, because as you mentioned, so many organizations are now going back on that.
And it's exciting to hear that, when you hear organizations are pulling out, and you've seen multiple lists about that, we need a list now of organizations who are continuing the movement, because there is definitely still a need, no matter what the rhetoric is saying. And I think it's important for us to continue to push that narrative, no matter what other narratives may be saying. There is definitely a need for this. So, could you all speak to that need in education?
Yeah, I'll start because it's really what I said before. That cultural responsiveness leadership is so crucial. You have to be able to understand and celebrate and appreciate the diversity that's in your building. And that's among staff as well as students and your broader community. And that's the first thing. That's why the belonging has now been added to DE&I. That belonging piece is crucial. And so that's the first step for me. When you find a leader who does not value diversity, you have a problem.
You do.
And so that's what we address, try to give resources to help leaders become more culturally responsive.
And I think I also remember it too, and we talked a little bit about this on our podcast, is that, DEI gets abbreviated and it's said like that, and we lump it together, but diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging are different things. You can have efforts to include people, but they might not feel like they belong. Diversity is different from equity work. There might be diversity in your building, in your district, but being equitable is, providing students, families, educators, teachers with what they need in that moment. And so being able to really help to articulate that and giving leaders the tools to be able to navigate those conversations.
And we thank you for your bravery, because in the current climate, those letters frighten people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very important that we have folks who remain on the front lines, that are advocating and educating and helping us to know how important it truly is to really present that for what it is intended to be, and forgetting all of this, the veil threats that are out there, or the innuendos of what is to come. We have to, continue to do what we do and make sure that people understand. How could interested people become involved if they are not a part of NAESP?
So NAESP is, I believe, open up to any principal across the country who wants to be involved,
Or assistant principal.
or assistant principals. Yep, as well. And I think even, if you hold that license, if you're not in a principal role, it's still open to you as well. And so I highly encourage, just from my perspective of the what I've learned from the leaders I've been able to interact with, from the materials that they send out each month, whether it's on an email or it's in the magazines that are sent out, it's all been valuable. It's all been relative to what I'm currently either seeing, experiencing, or what I have navigated in the past. So I would definitely encourage any leader or future leader to get involved.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll definitely be getting involved, because I didn't realize that it was for middle school as well. So I'm glad I learned something new. I will definitely be joining, and encourage everyone that's listening and on. If you are not a part of it, definitely join. And even if you're a secondary, there's so much that we can learn by making sure we are collaborating with elementary people. Tammy and I talk a lot about how she and I tag team as trustmates to improve our schools, because at the middle level, when my students were getting to me 2 and 3 grade levels behind, my teachers were transparent in that we don't know how to teach children how to read. So I had to rely on her early literacy skills to get my teachers trained on what they needed. So we thank you all for joining us. Thank you for inviting the Real Fam and everyone else who will tune in to the replay later to join, and letting them know about the resources and what you all are doing. So thank you all for joining us today. Any
Yes.
closing remarks? We know it goes quick.
Yeah, and we just want to say thank you, and we look forward to anyone joining the meetup on December 16th. I think it's at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. So you can just go on to this.
So we can keep
Okay, person. Thank
announcing
you.
it for you guys too.
Thank you.
And again, thank you guys so much for coming. Happy birthday again, Miss Dot. And Josh, I am not a hater. Congratulations to Carolina, who won on last Saturday. I am not that girl.
Thank you all. Please tune in next on Principal Kafele's platform, and we always appreciate you in the Real Academy. Have a great rest of your Saturday.
Yes.
Let me get to where I need to be. Here we go.